What's up, family? I hope everyone is doing okay out there and in good spirits and in good health. And thank you all for joining us for another episode of Mediazewtv. And today the streets continue to be on fire with the death of young Scooter happening a few days ago. And I must say, man, this situation has took hood ratting to a whole nother level. But thank God they finally arrested her, this Demi lady that did the false 911 call on young Scooter and his friend. But before we get started, I'd like to say thanks again for your support. And please go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you hadn't done so already. Now let's go.
This evening, the first being from the 200 block of William Nye Drive in Zone 3. Officers responded to a dispute with a weapon. It was advised in the call remarks that shots were fired and a female was dragged back into the location. Once officers arrived, they knocked on the door. A male opened the door and immediately shut the door on the officers. The officers then established a perimeter. During the process of establishing the perimeter, two males fled out of the rear of the house. One male returned back into the house. The other male jumped two fences as he was fleeing. When officers located him on the other side of the fence, he appeared to have suffered an injury to his leg. Officers rendered aid, and he was transported to Grady Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased.
And still, even with the explanation from the police, it still sounds real fishy to me, in my opinion. He says that they were chasing him when they found him injured on the other side of the fence. Then in the same breath, he says that they weren't pursuing him. So which is it? Because it's not like you can just give the police the benefit of the doubt anytime somebody dies suspiciously. The only time I remember somebody dying from a ruptured femoral artery is when Sean Taylor, that played football for the Washington Redskins, was back home in Miami rehabbing when somebody broke into his house and they shot him in the leg and ruptured his femoral artery. And reading up on that artery, if you injure it, you can die within 5 minutes without immediate help. So it's possible, but I'd rather hold my judgment until I see the full body cam footage, because it did take a while before they spoke on it. When it happened, it seemed like they were getting a story together, but who knows at this point. But by them not speaking on it when it happened, that's how all the information started coming out all twisted. Since the 22-year-old guy from North Carolina was the one shot by police near downtown Atlanta, and that everybody was focusing on that crime scene. It just makes me mad as hell, really, that a woman can call the police and report a fake crime because she's mad that her man is going to a party. And then she's basically trying to shut the party down, even going so far as to describe the type of car they would be riding in and the type of clothes that they would be wearing. You can't make this stuff up. This is just like these Karens calling the police on black men, saying that they're in fear of their lives and not realizing that the cops could come. And it seems like it's always one cop out of the pack that's itching to pull the trigger without a warning.
On operator 8715, what is the location of your emergency?
The location is 27.
With the transfer. 1 second, ma'am, for 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast.
273 William Nye?
Yeah.
No, it's 273 William. Oh, you said Nye, NYE, right?
Yes.
And the big red flag to me in the whole situation is somebody calling from another jurisdiction. And then you notice it's like she's watching a crime unfold, getting committed. She's on the phone, you know. Lord help us.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you to Cab. Hello, caller.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Do you need police, fire, EMS?
Actually, Both, if you could say both. There was literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house. And
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Okay. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch.
And like, who do we have in these positions that's of importance, that's answering these telephones? The operator needs more training, more people training to not even ask the girl the question of, how are you a neighborhood watch and you calling from a whole nother district?
Basically, like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They holding the guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
So I believe the girl is hurt.
And they're coming from 273 William Nye Drive?
Yes. And the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay. Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like they brought her, the guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out. And he's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
Give me one moment.
There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely from her head.
Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives.
What color shirt and pants do he have on?
Regular blue jeans and like a regular T-shirt. I'm not sure. I didn't really get the. Okay, I'm not sure if it was blue or black.
Okay, dark T-shirt. And what about the female?
She's light-skinned and she has black hair. She's probably about 5'3", 130 pounds.
Okay, give me one moment. Let me get EMS on the line.
Okay.
You have reached Grady EMS. Do not hang
Hello,
up.
ma'am. Can you tell me what they're doing right now?
Right now they're still battling. She's trying to get out, and the person is refusing to let her get out.
Go ahead, call her and let her know what happened.
Hello.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. There is like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns. You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage. And then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt.
Are you, ma'am, are you with the patient now?
No, I'm a neighborhood watch. I'm just literally a neighborhood watch. I'm not in the house.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, no problem. About how old do you think she is?
She has to be about maybe, she looks a little underage, but I don't want to say that. You know, looks can be deceiving. So she's roughly, I'll say let's just say between 18 and 21. You know, that.
Is she awake?
What do you mean, is she awake? He's beating her bloody.
Conscious?
He's beating her bloody. He's dragged her back in the house.
Is she breathing?
Ma'am, he dragged her back in the house.
Okay, I understand that. I'm going to ask you some more questions. I understand you're not able to see what exactly is going on now, but just answer the questions to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Were any weapons involved?
Everyone in the house has weapons.
Okay.
The 7 guys that live there, they're roommates or something like that. I don't know if all 7 lives there, but it's typically about the same amount that's there every day.
Okay. Is there any serious bleeding?
She's bleeding from her face, like the whole front of her face. She's bleeding profusely, and then there's a child involved.
Okay. Is she responding normally?
Are you serious, ma'am?
Yes, I'm serious. I need to know for the paramedics if she's completely alert.
How can I assess if she is alert if I just told you they dragged her back in the house?
So like I advised earlier, just answer to the best of your ability.
I told y'all, did I not call it? I said, I guarantee you that some female mad at probably was texting. It's his birthday, he wasn't with her. And called people and put in a fake call. I told you. Women can be very vindictive, man. I got another story. Somebody called me today. His sister was with her.
She got beat up on baddies, and then now this.
Who got beat up on baddies?
Demi.
Demi.
When?
Oh, on TV.
Ain't gonna lie. Somebody
She got crunched on baddies in Atlanta.
Somebody need to crunch that hoe, but that hoe.
Let me see that.
Social media. Well, that's old, man.
Send it to, I don't be on here like that.
Baddies. It was a Zeus version of baddies.
Yeah, the Atlanta. You know the little be fighting and all that bullshit.
I ain't gonna lie. Somebody need to cancel that whole Demi, man. Straight up.
That's some new shit.
They need to protect her.
So now she's been arrested, but she's getting charged for the fake call, but not for the death. So at this point, she needs more accountability in the situation, in my opinion. I mean, if you're going to rob somebody and in the process, the person that you're trying to rob has a heart attack in the process of the robbery, it's your fault. Just plain and simple, it's your fault. They would charge you with manslaughter on top of the robbery charges at the least. And that's no different than what she did to Scooter on that night. You know, you can disregard the hell out of what her intentions were. That man had children regardless of if he ran or not. You know, when street ninjas are just sitting minding their business, could have been blowing one in the air. You know, regardless if they're a gangster or not. You know, we as black men are just conditioned to think the worst when we see the police appear unannounced. And that's just the cold truth of it. And then you got FBI agent Whack 100, a.k.a. Waukesha 100. His favorite line is, I told y'all, I called it. I told y'all, I called it. Now, it ain't a coincidence that he's always there with information on any kind of negative situation that happens. You know, anytime a car crash happens, he's some kind of way on the scene. And then the hood rat that did it is this Demi Blanco, allegedly. Now, and she was always on Clubhouse a lot with FBI agent Whack 100. a.k.a. Waukesha 100. Now, hell, who knows? He probably put up to it. As much as he keep free bands and Future's name in his mouth like a penis. So, straight up narrating a fake play-by-play from the other side of Atlanta, and the whole time, not once did the 911 operator ask her, are you getting information from someone that's presently on the scene? That right there shows you the level of competency and the lack of training that operator had to not even ask a basic question. So the operator's partly to blame too. And this is just a sad all around situation with another black man dying and, another black man dying and leaving children behind to grow up without a father. And nobody's saying that young Scooter is perfect by no means. It just really bothered my soul when I heard that he had passed. Living my whole life 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, I know how I can get. And always following the music scene, you feel like you know these artists even though you don't. But you can judge a man by how he moves, and young Scooter moved real quietly, you know. I first started listening to young Scooter when he was with Gucci Mane years ago before he got with Future. He was never one of them type, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that, you know, type of rapper. He wasn't no kind of weirdo. He wasn't somebody that was always beefing with somebody. He just made his money on the quiet tip. And even when Rollo challenged him to the fight online, he didn't entertain the internet circus shit. Because it's never the loudest one in the room that's the hardest. And we as black people just have to do better. The men and the women too. The self-inflicted wounds and the self-hate, it just got to stop somewhere. So I'd like to say thank you all again for joining us on this episode of Mediazewtv. I'd like to say rest in peace to young Scooter. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for more updates. But remember, put God first, stay engaged, and stay informed. Peace.